45 News in the morning.
Threats targeting multiple schools across the Miami Valley, the multiple arrests this morning, and juveniles facing charges. And an assault caught on camera, how widespread this bullying problem is and what's being done to protect your kids in school. Plus, a new satellite to help us better predict the weather. We're talking with a NOAA scientist about how it can help us plan and prepare for extreme weather systems. And even though it may be raining out, we're hitting the slopes and skiing still ahead. Our trip to Mad River Mountain.
And taking a look here at our radar this morning, we have more rain to work through. That's this morning and this afternoon. And guess what? Tomorrow, we have more rain to work through in the morning and the afternoon. We'll find out when this finally ends and how much we'll see by the end of the weekend coming up in the forecast.
Rain, Greg touched on it right now. It's on your morning commute, and here is a look there at all of those rainy roads. Your highways pretty wet out there. It's going to take a little bit to help you navigate through, so make sure you tune in before you head out the door. We'll give you all your weather and traffic. Today, 4 kids in the Miami Valley are expected in court, all accused of making threats to schools in the last 24 hours. Welcome in. I'm Elise Coulter.
And I'm Megan O'Rourke. It all started with a threat in Springfield that caused panic nationwide. Fox 45's Clancy Burke joins us from the Clark County Juvenile Court with the very latest. Good morning, Clancy.
Good morning, Megan. We'll get this. 3 of the 4 students who were arrested used social media to make those threats, which is really how it spread so quickly. The superintendent of Springfield says his phone was blowing up with people alerting him to these threats. And, he acted so quickly. That's one thing that we can say. In these 24 hours, it all happened so fast. And right now, a 17-year-old Springfield student is sitting in the Clark County Juvenile Center charged with inducing panic. She was accused of talking about a shooting at SHS, which, if that sounds vague, it's because it is. That can mean a number of schools across the country. And of course, here in the Miami Valley, you can already think of a number. Springboro, Stebbins, Springfield, hundreds of students called in sick. And the FBI and Facebook team eventually traced it back to Springfield High School, where the superintendent says they acted quickly.
What I like to say is if it doesn't look right and it doesn't feel right, it's probably not right. So at that point, what people need to do is speak up. They need to tell an adult, tell someone that something doesn't feel right. And once they do that, you're able to head situations off like this.
And Springfield is not the only school that received threats. In Fairborn, 2 children were arrested for posting similar threats, which led to a precautionary lockdown Thursday morning. And it was an 11-year-old girl and a 12-year-old boy. And then in Piqua, a 10-year-old was arrested, and he's accused of making threats at Piqua Central. Police say he told friends he was going to bring a gun to school, and he's now facing a charge of making false alarms. And we will likely see all 4 of these students in school today, as well as schools across the Miami Valley on high alert. For now, live in Springfield, Clancy Burke, Fox 45 News.
Teachers at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School will return to school today for the first time since the Valentine's Day massacre. 17 students, teachers, and coaches were killed. We're now learning the school resource officer and former deputy was right outside the building while the gunman started firing his AR-15 rifle, but he didn't go in to help.
But what I saw was a deputy arrive at the west side of Building 12, take up a position, and he never went in.
He could have went in. That's what they do every day. They put their life on the line. That's their job.
Parents, students, and the Broward County Sheriff in shock. Some teachers say they knew Scott Peterson as the school's protector. That's the school resource officer's name. But during the shooting, he did nothing. On Thursday, Peterson was placed on paid leave. Instead, he chose to resign and retire. There are a lot of unanswered questions in Parkland, but the majority think his decision to resign was the right thing to do.
He was going to feel ashamed as soon as he stepped into those hallways again, seeing the students.
Many right now just want to hear his side of the story. Internal Affairs is now looking into Peterson as he tries to retire from following the shooting. His retirement would be funded by taxpayers. Our sister station in Florida received Peterson's personnel record. He served as a school resource officer in Parkland since 2009. His last review was just this month. It either met or exceeded expectations. We dug deeper. His file had glowing words like trusted, dependable, takes initiative. In 2014, he was named the School Resource Officer of the Year.
Now, the president promising changes following the tragedy. He's promising strong background checks and wants to raise the age for buying guns to 21 instead of 18. He also wants to get rid of bump stocks, which turn regular guns into machine guns, and address mental health. The president is also floating the idea of arming teachers.
Later this morning, the West Carrollton student caught on camera in this video assaulting a classmate is expected in court. This is police are still flooded with calls from parents who are concerned about their child's safety. Records show police have been called to the high school 16 times this school year for issues ranging from assault to intimidation. They say if your child is being bullied, call them.
Students should be allowed to go to school and get an education and not worried about being bullied.
West Carrollton school superintendent won't comment on specific cases, but says the district plans to hire a school resource officer, create a new code of conduct, and introduce an app to report bullying. The student involved in the assault case has now been charged with felonious assault. The superintendent says he's also been disciplined, but won't tell us the punishment.
New overnight, 3 people are dead after a small Cessna crashes in Carroll County, Indiana. State police say all 3 people on board died in that crash just north of Rossville. The plane took off from Eagle Creek Airport in Indianapolis and was heading to Green Bay, Wisconsin. No word on what caused that crash.
More charges for 2 former campaign Trump officials. Paul Manafort and Rick Gates indicted on 32 counts, including tax and bank fraud charges. A charging document says the new counts are connected to fraudulent loans and the two allegedly procured between 2015 and this year. The loans in question allegedly came from money earned from their Ukrainian lobbying business. Manafort and Gates pleaded not guilty last year to money laundering and related charges in connection to their lobbying work.
Imagine opening a utility bill for more than $1,000. People in Piqua say it's happening more often than you think. Customers are now sending Fox 45 Investigates their bills from February showing more than $1,000 charges. Homeowners say the city estimated totals because of the cold weather last month. City officials tell us they won't send readers out if it's below 10 degrees. Bills the next month can then be higher if the estimate was too low and an adjustment has to be done. If anyone has any questions, the city suggests you bring your bill into the utility office.
Our time right now is 7:07. A road rage smackdown caught on camera. How it ended still ahead.
And incredible video of a child falling from a building. The hero cops that helped save him.
And the newest and most advanced satellite to help forecast the weather will head up to space next week. Next, we're going to be talking with one NOAA scientist about how it can help prepare us for extreme weather.
And you can see a rainy situation on our Kettering Health Network Skycam. We're in the forecast for today and tomorrow. We'll look ahead at the likely dry hours during those days. And the next time we'll actually get a mostly sunny day is ahead as well. You're watching Fox 45 News in the morning.